So I've called this light and dark, and I wrote it this morning out in the garden. Okay, it's the 19th of August 2024, but whenever you find this message is when you're supposed to. So when you are in darkness, there's only one guarantee: the light is on its way. It's difficult to know this and feel this when we are in it, but once we remember that we've been here before, and we remember we didn't stay there. No matter how painful, we can trust that we are where we are supposed to be. And where we are and what we are feeling and going through is going to change. And once we remember this, the process becomes more tolerable, and the faith and the trust gets stronger and stronger, and we remember our own strength and resilience, and that we are here for a reason, and we are finding out why. We chose to experience these challenges because we wanted to experience the contrast between the light and the dark. That's why I've called it light and dark. I feel like this message is so important, and it's really important to get out there because the only guarantee in life is change, okay? And when we are in that space where we cannot see how we are going to get out, we don't feel as though we know what to do. We are uncertain and unsure and anxious, or whatever the feeling is. It kind of just feels like you're in the dark. And because we're feeling this in the moment, and because that's what we feel, we forget that the light is coming. And just as I say that, the sun has just come through. We forget that it's going to change because we're in it, we're in the middle of it, and it's so hard at the time. But when you know and have faith and understand that where you are is not where you're going to be, that what you're experiencing has to change, it just has to, because that's the cycle of life, then we can feel more at ease and trust and know that it's going to work out. And that's what I want to share with you, because from my personal experience, I've been through a fair few dark nights of the soul, a fair few near-death experiences, a fair few rock bottoms, or whatever you want to call them. And just lately, over these past few months, I've had another spurt of that darkness, right? That contrast. And because I'm now seeing and feeling more light and joy and knowing and faith, and I feel totally different to how I did a few weeks ago and a few months ago, right? Literally how I feel today compared to a few weeks ago is like 180. It's night and day. And when I was in that space, let me tell you, I felt like I was going to stay there for, I felt that. But deep down, we know that that's not the case, because look at the evidence. Look at your life and how far you've come, and all the things you've been through, and all the challenges that have happened, and that they have changed and you have come through them. What makes you think that you can't handle where you are, however painful it is, knowing that you've been through hell, you've walked through the fire, you've jumped over the I'm picturing like a massive gap, like Superman, like you're on one side and then the other side, you've got a big gap, and you just leap over it, and you've got to the other side. Oh my God, like, you've done these things, so what makes you think that you can't do the rest? What makes you think that you don't have it in you to get through this? And this, what you're going through now, I'm not saying it's not painful, I'm not saying it's not a challenge. It could be health related, relationships, monetary, all of the above. you know, whatever it is. You could just be feeling lost. I'm here to share my light and shine it today with this sunshine and say, I've been there. I don't film that shit. I'm not going to make a video when I'm in the lowest of the low, because that's not real. It's not authentic. The last thing you do when you're feeling like that is go, oh, I'm just going to film this so the world, I can prove to the world that I know what I know. And no, it's not what it's not. That's the cocoon stage. This is the butterfly stage. This is the wing flying stage. Okay, nobody sees the cocoon side. We can talk about it and share it, which is very helpful. But people don't see that. But the more of us that share and say, hey, that's real, that's normal, I've been through it, I go through it, and let me tell you, you're going to get through it, the better. The more of us that, you know, really share that. Because we do, and we will, and you will. Wherever you are, you will come through this, and it will change. This is my egg chair, it's a bit creaky. Yeah. So maybe I should share with you some things that have helped me. If you hear noises, I'm on my balcony and like, I don't want to sit inside, it's too nice a day, but blocking out the noise without all the professional sound equipment isn't going to work. So it's better to share what you've got than not share at all, right? That's another thing. Here we go. About being perfect. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. Yeah, so what changed for me over these past couple of weeks? First things first, time. And I know it's cliche, but time is the biggest healer, because even if you think you're doing nothing, like action-wise, to make it change, it actually does, because time heals. It does. Time heals. There are things that happen that we can't see, like downloads that we receive. That's why we dream so much. I'm learning more about like the Lion's Gate and all these different things, and how, you know, the universe and the energy, and depending on the planets at the time, like all these things can happen and we can download them. I was just listening to a video now, and we don't even know it's happening, but we've become awakened. We've had an insight. We've received something. Okay, this is coming through now. The biggest thing I can say to you is to relax. When you don't know what to do and you're in a situation of like, oh, I'm in the dark, I'm lost, I'm stuck, I'm fearful, I'm anxious, anything like this, the best thing you can do is say, well, I give up. I give up the need to know. I give up the need to fix it, to change it, to make it something else. Just accept it and surrender. And I know full well that if I'd have heard a video about this a few weeks ago and someone said that to me, I would say, what are you talking about? I need to do something. I need to fix this. It's like I keep receiving the same lessons and going through these cycles. And each time you learn something else, right? We go through it for a reason. So yes, so surrender to what is, and don't feel like you need to be anywhere else other than where you are, because you can't heal when you're not present. You can't receive the download you need to receive, the information, the insight, you know, the light bulb moments you get. You can't get them when you're in anxiety and fear and everything else, because you don't feel safe in your body. You've got to feel safe first. So you've got to learn how to relax. So sleep, so rest, so know that you are protected and it is all going to work out for you. Know that, just like before, when you were going through the things you're going through, a higher power was there with you. Call it angels, call it spirit guides, call it your ancestors, call it the universe, call it God, call it source, call it the divine, call it whatever you feel resonates, but you know that you got through that and you were held, and you are held, right, by Mother Mother Earth. So the first point of call is to accept where you are and surrender. And know, and just know, even the way you are is not where you want to be. You don't want to be feeling that, but that feeling is serving a purpose as a catalyst, a catapult, or whatever you want to call it, to springboard you to your next stage. Okay, so surrender, rest, relax. Do the things that make you feel safe. Because until you feel safe in your body, you can't create, you can't receive more downloads to then know what to do next. If you're really, really in an anxious space right now and you're literally vomiting, throwing up like I was, and not sleeping, and it ain't your job now to be figuring out, what do I need to do? What action steps do I need to take? That's not what you need to do. You need to literally love yourself, care for yourself like you are your own baby. Sleep, nap, rest, eat, focus on the basics, and just accept you are where you are. And if you need to watch something, watch Netflix or movies, like as you would as a child, to nurture yourself, to zone out, do whatever you got to do, because you're not staying there. You're not going to watch movies forever. It's just whatever you need to do. Get out into nature and notice what's around you. All these things are really helpful. There's not all one size fits all, but know that it's okay where you are. We actually chose these challenges. We chose to go through these because we wanted to experience them for the growth and the journey. That's why we're here. Even though a lot of people don't believe that, I know that is true. And I know because I've lived it. And I know because I know. But, yeah. And then what comes after that, the train's agreeing with me now, but what comes after that stage of rest and rejuvenation and acceptance is creativity, is inspiration. You'll get downloads, you'll receive what you need to receive, and then you'll start wanting to do things, right? When you didn't want to do anything and you were scared and fearful and anxious, that will change, and then you'll be like, you know what, I just want to do some fun shit, or I want to go and ride my bike, or I want to paint that picture, I want to go to that dance class, and you will feel what you want to feel again. I remember saying, I just want to feel like me again. I just want to feel like me again. And all along I was just wanting to feel better, but that was still me. That was still a part of me. And until I accepted it, trusted it, surrendered, and went, all right, what the fuck, I'm not worrying anymore. I'm just whatever. And literally, that's when it all fell into place, because I just stopped worrying so much. Because there's only so much worrying you can do, and it's exhausting, and yeah, there comes like a tipping point where it just naturally, like, you just can't stay there. So yeah, wherever you are is where you're supposed to be, and wherever you are is not where you're going to be. And everything changes, and everything evolves and transforms, and there's a time to be in the cocoon like the butterfly, there's a time to grow your wings and fly, and life is full of both. Cocoon time, wing time, cocoon time, wing time, cocoon time, wing time. So whether you are now in the cocoon, or whether you are poking your little wings out, or whether you're flying above the skyscrapers and up to the moon and the stars, right, all of it's going to change. So I hope this helped you. If it did, please share. I think connection with like minds is so needed in the world right now, hence why I'm even sharing videos like this. There's some crazy ass big birds out there. I'm in Sydney, Australia, for those of you that don't know, and they have some massive birds. Oh, what are they doing? Noisy buggers. Anywho, where am I going with this? I've just totally been distracted by birds. Yeah, whatever stage you're at, it's going to change. And don't lose faith, because, yeah, it's the only guarantee. surrender, meditate, relax, watch movies that feel good, cocoon yourself if you need to cocoon yourself, because you can't stay there. Yeah. If you would like support with where you are, you can check out my website and see what's on offer there. So I do spiritual coaching, where I can help you through what you're going through, and intuitive readings. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Do comment, that was it, do comment and share, and I will definitely be responding, because that's what we are here for, connecting with like minds and helping and supporting one another. I think I've got a bit of an audience, I can hear my neighbours. Who cares? You've got to say your piece, haven't you? And I don't want to stay inside because it's dark in there and it's light out here, and I want to be in the light. Oh my god, what are they doing? Right, keep shining your beautiful light and know that everything is always working out for you, my dear.